Not Keon got background music. What's up, Kiki? Man, poor Alani was too. She already sleep. I ain't even. Well, guys. What about now? What are you saying? I can hear you. Oh, can't hear you, Keon. Hey, Pran. Nobody can hear Keon. Is there any chance? No offense. Just kidding. It's not her. It's like maybe her internet or something. She's Prince said it's in and out. Yeah, Key. You rough over there. It's not mom. And Prince said you in and out, so I mean, yep. Hey y'all. Hey. Hey young girl. Is she still having issues, y'all? Do she need to come in, come back out? I mean, go out and come back in? I'm special. How you know? I don't know if it's we can't hear you at all. Hey Trey. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on, Keon.
All right, yeah, this was a problem.
That was Keon for Keon?
Yeah, she didn't need to do that.
Dang.
That was my fault.
What happened to Bloomberg?
Give me the remote. Gotcha.
Happy Monday.
How about now?
I've said happy Monday so many times. So when I look at it, it's loading. But I'm here now.
Ma said
Can y'all hear
hi.
me?
My bad, but it was not you. It was a production. Change the setting.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, Princess, you loud.
Happy
Oh
Monday.
man. Whew. All right, y'all. This one tough. Beast
Why?
mode. What up? I can hear you. Thank you. Um. So, all right. Just a little admin stuff at the beginning for those of you who are new. This blog that we're talking about. So we kind of just have a conversation about it, but Maya will be delayed. She's on a call that ran long. We're talking about the recent blog post on my website, labelmelegal.com. So I am the host, Label Me Legal, or you'll hear them call me Dash. And then next to me is Crew Key or Keon, who is a doctor of physical therapy in Georgia. And then getting on a little later is Maya. And Maya is a occupational therapist um, who is in transition to being a financial strategist. And she lives in Texas. We are all blood sisters. So we may look alike, but the opinions will be very different because we're very different
Very
people.
different.
This topic was, if you're on my website, it was posted March 4th because they're always posted every Monday. I'm not sure if production posted the new one for today, but anyway, it's called Women at Work. And it's kind of, we're still celebrating Women's History Month, or at least acknowledging it. So we're going over, hey Jess, congrats. I hope you're doing good and the new baby. We're kind of going over the things women have to deal with, the statistics. Like, this is not just emotion. You know, we gotta have them statistics for Keon. She don't play any games. We cannot be emotional. So we got statistics for Keon, and just our own personal experience with being in corporate America. I got stories for days, me personally. So,
Yeah.
one of the biggest things, like I did do a report, but one of the biggest things that I don't know if I put in here that I do want to highlight is right now, if you Google it, Forbes put up a post about 350,000 black women that have been relieved from work. And some of that is due to DEI, some of that is due to the administration, um, and basically the after effects of that. Some of that is due to people and supervisors who, because of the administration, have grown empowered to do so. I know for me, I'm one of the 350,000 that left work in December or was relieved, however you want to call that. But there are many more people, more black women that I know that are really still facing a lot of microaggressions that only black women can understand, or women of color. And there are some that women in general, but women of color for sure. So, Keon, I want to open this up to see if, because you know I have lots of experiences. So, what about you?
I have experiences as well. I think I just don't I think I'm kind of look at it as more of a look as a reality.
What's a reality?
S- just like going through it, just having to work extra hard. Like it's just I don't spend too much time in like um harping on it. I just kind of push through it. I think I've just made myself go into autopilot and find ways to navigate it. Um, and it's almost like it's in the I don't really put it in the forefront of my mind. It's just something I just kind of this just is this what it is. This I don't feel like it'll change. I don't feel like it'll ever be different. And so in a way, I just kind of ignore it and find different strategic ways to navigate it. Because I mean, it's corporate America. I'm 5% of my profession. I'm very different. I do not match the typical PT, and I've got negative complaints because I don't fit this box and this picture of what a PT is supposed to be like, and my environment don't either. My environment that I manage is a reflection of me.
Yeah.
So I think I've just chosen to take the blows in a way. But one thing I have learned is that corporate America and these companies that try to utilize those biases and try to not they don't acknowledge you. You cannot do nothing. You can't say nothing, and you can't do nothing when numbers speak. So I am just a metrically sound person. Like I try to make sure my metrics are very like double. I'm standing out from a metric standpoint to make you wonder what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Keon. But before I do that, let me give Maya a chance because we're talking about the microaggressions and the things we experience at work. So I want to know if you have any stories of what you've experienced, Maya.
Of like microaggressions?
Or just experiences of being a woman or woman of color at work.
Yeah, I've had a couple times where I've had my manager tell me that I seem frustrated or I look frustrated or just kind of assume that I was emotional or mad about something based off of me just kind of advocating for myself. And one day we had text back and forth, not like that, but just like I had a question, and then from my understanding, I didn't understand what the answer she had gave me, and that wasn't what I got from the meeting, and so I was like questioning her about that, and then I just didn't respond, not because I felt some type of way, but I think I forgot. But then like a week or two later, she started the conversation off with, I just want to check in because I know you're frustrated. And I was like, where'd you get that? Like I came in with a smile on my face. Like why would you assume that? And so I'm kind of glad that I got that, because at the time it wasn't like I felt some type of way that she said that. It was more like, oh, this is what we get. Like I experienced what I've heard from other Black women, get that type of comment, or you seem like you're angry about something just for standing up for yourself. So that's the only thing that come to mind, like right off the bat. But I didn't leave feeling angry. It was just like, here's another person, assuming an emotion that I didn't show. So in all, I just feel like y'all look crazy.
I do have a story, but like talking about PT school is so traumatizing to me. It makes me overly emotional, and I feel like that's where I experienced like a lot of systemic, just I wouldn't even say if it's racism. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely a different type of navigation when you're trying to be perfect and still falling short of their glory. So I did a great presentation. I practiced so hard on this presentation. I presented it a million times, timed myself, had I had like I had my opinion, but I also had literature to back up what I was providing to the crowd. And the crowd was full of doctors. It was just a really big crowd of people. Doctors, everybody in the room was of status, had titles, had credentials. And my presentation went really good. I was able to answer questions. I was not challenged. I was complimented. And when I got my grade back, I had got like an 83. And I was asking, where did I go wrong? Because everything on the syllabus, I followed the syllabus, everything was right. And I was told my dialect, I need to be mindful of my dialect when I'm giving a presentation. And at the time, I didn't really understand dialect. Like, I really don't know if I just had a brain fart or what. So I was like, what do you mean my dialect? And she said, I was like, can you give me an example? She's like, I don't have any examples, but when you're speaking to someone, just be mindful of, don't use slang. And I'm thinking like, I use slang in a room full of doctors, so I'm being overly critical about myself. Like, maybe I said y'all too many times, or so now I'm trying to sound like, hello, how are you? When I walk away, because because what I thought was just great was an 83, and it wasn't because you didn't provide this information, you couldn't answer questions. It was because of my dialect. And now I'm frustrated, like how do I sound? What do I sound like? How am I perceived to people? So now I'm being overly critical about the way I'm speaking to people because I'm so afraid of being judged by my dialect. And I just had to walk away like that's my grade, I'll take it. That I went from an A to a B, a low B for dialect.
Yeah. I feel that, Key. I think now that I'm looking at it and like we're having these conversations, I'm grateful for the journey that I've had so far. Like, getting out of school, this, Kiam, they tell you don't go PRN as a new grad. And even then, just getting out of school and not knowing much, I was like, they say that, but I think it's more personal. Like, can you handle what comes with it when you PRN? Like, if you're not adaptable, if you can't handle a lot of change, if you like stability, then yeah, don't go. I mean, it's pretty simple. Don't do that. But with me, I wanted to seek different experiences. I wanted to get a whole bunch of knowledge from different places. And so like with it, my first time joining or getting my first job, I remember feeling imposter syndrome like crazy. Like I wanted to crawl up into a ball and cry. And I just remember like telling myself, and this wasn't until maybe a year later, but I just remember telling myself that it's so exhausting to pretend like you are somebody else, especially when you are the only speck. You are different than everybody else around you. Not only do I have to pretend like I'm somebody else, not only do I have to code switch and talk like I'm in a way that I don't typically talk, but I also am not understood just by my background. It's exhausting, and our job is already mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. So I'm exhausted from working and then being in this environment with all of these different coworkers, and nothing, that's not to say anything was wrong with my coworkers. It's just, that's the fact, we're just different. And so, like, after a year, I was just like, how I talk is how I talk, and how you assume, how you get, what you get from that is what you get. I can't control somebody else may look at that and be like, you code switching, and or you just can't please everybody. And so I started feeling like I got more respect and more like love and relationship building once I started being my true self, without a doubt.
I feel like it's you have two types of people. You have people like you who can take the trauma and be very rebellious, and then you have people like me who can take the trauma and constantly create ways to kind of avoid it. Like I create comfort in it in a way so that it don't hurt me as bad. So like when they first asked the question, I went with a very safe answer because I just don't want the controversy. But to have to speak the truth of what is actually occurring is having to relive it, and it's like,
what was the answer?
It was like, oh, it is what it is. We're going to experience it. It's just another thing. But I just do what I do, and I do the best at it. In statistics, you can't speak against that. You can't speak against my numbers.
it was safe. It was very safe, but it just shows you that like it's two type of people, women, people that you got people who are in these environments for years and they're choosing that route of like, well, I'm just gonna work hard and that's how I feel like I really am, because I really hate having to speak out loud the reality of realizing like, oh, that was a racist moment, because I cannot wrap my head around a skin color just being so like offensive to someone that you just create a character that's not there. You make me ghetto, you make me nasty, you make me everything but good, and it has nothing to do with who I am as a person, nothing to do with the energy I'm giving you, nothing to do with my faith. It has everything to do with my appearance, and that's hurtful for me to just to keep imagining over and over that like you're so offended by my appearance that it creates an insecurity in me. I just can't.
Yeah. And
So
it feels like we are like talking about, we've talked about this before, and it may feel like we have brought this up before, and we keep talking about it, but you cannot talk about women, and especially Black women in the corporate world, without mentioning it, because we live it. It's like it's a facade if we don't mention it. It's happening everywhere.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm getting tired just thinking about having a discussion. This conversation is loaded. It's a little heavy for me, but I'm gonna read some of the comments. So Tisha said, "Oh, hey Tisha." She said, "Good evening." Prince said, "I definitely feel like only we understand us." Yeah, because I've had moments where I'll tell it to two different people on purpose, and one obviously will understand, like that was because it was us, and the other one will be like, "I don't get it. What was the issue?" Because it just on its own it doesn't make sense. Because you're right, on its own that comment should even have been said. Vivian said it was straight racism. Scott asked the question, so to be in a smaller community of health professionals, or even me with being a lawyer, would it be more beneficial to search out groups of Black women professionals in the community, creating like a support group or network?
I seen that comment, and I love going to those events. I literally just got off a networking call And I plan to sign up for the membership. I plan to go to this conference in DC because there's not enough spaces that where we can go to where it's a whole room full of us. I mean, it's just so fulfilling. Like, absolutely. You should go to those because these are people that are creating these events so that we can get a chance. Like, they have a chance. They're creating basically what they're doing. They're putting our people also in these positions.
Yeah,
So
I definitely believe those are helpful. So on two ends of the spectrum, one, I went to a corporate council for women of color conference in Chicago, and it genuinely filled my soul. Like just to be in the room with, I mean, it was black women that worked for like Mastercard, Apple, Microsoft, Meta. They were VPs and CEOs and Casey's. I had a phone call and face-to-face conversation with the head of legal, called the general counsel of Casey's, the store that I didn't even realize, never even thought anything about. That's in my hometown. So it was huge, and I felt like I wish I had known about it when I was a law student. I wish I had known about it when I was a younger lawyer because it really did fill my soul. But on the other end of the spectrum, I found women, even if they weren't lawyers, because there were only 3 lawyers in a multi-billion-dollar, 3 women of color, black lawyers in a multi-billion-dollar company. So I can only go to so many lawyers. So I found a group of women where we started having dinners every month, and we were at the same job, so we were able to kind of talk about the same things. Sometimes we knew the same people, but it helped to have a day and everybody came to the table and was like, ooh, y'all, I needed this. And it helped to have that on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, not just an annual conference, because it does. I have been that person that you can't touch my numbers, and they still find something that has nothing to do with your profession. So to go back to the comments, Auntie Lenny said, that's always used against us, our dialect. I was labeled as trying to be white because of the way I speak. Exactly. Because when you don't have anything else, you're going to go for my communication. I actually, again, had my statistics, had my numbers, did well. You really couldn't say anything against me. And then I got told it wasn't even on my performance evaluation. The only thing that I need you to work on is communication. What does that have to do with? And it wasn't communication with, hey, you're not communicating well with the people you serve. You're not communicating well with your colleagues. It literally was none of that. It was stuff like, you don't ask me for help as much as everybody else. This person actually said this to me. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, it's stuff like that where, I mean, good luck to the woman who, because I've done it, who works your butt off and rise to the top and do all this stuff, but it doesn't always shield you. And I don't want people to think that doing that will make you problem proof, because it doesn't shield you. It doesn't shield you from racism. It doesn't. And the problem with what Keon experienced is she experienced, like, in every step of the way, you're essentially attacking possibility, hope, opportunity financially for me, because my grades depend on if I get to stay in this program, depend on if I get to become a doctor, depend on if I get to be the doctor of my family, or make a certain income. And so you're going to give me, in Keon's example, an 83, and the problem with that is, as you continue to grow up and go up, those same people, those same types of people, it's not a grade anymore. Now they playing with your money. Now they saying, I just had somebody recently tell me she was told she's training everybody. She's been moved up. She's great. she was told not to give herself exceeds expectation, and her supervisor won't either, because I think of exceeds as perfect, and you're not perfect. What is that? So now on my performance evaluation, I'm shooting for Jesus. Yeah, you playing with me. Now you playing with my money, because now you're saying, well, I can't give you a 3% raise. I can give you a 2% raise. 3% is already behind inflation. So you're impacting my life. Like, this is my life, my way of life. The stakes get higher, and it's infuriating. So I feel you, Keon, but I honestly used to say that, but I'm be honest, it don't work. It don't always work. Tisha said, actually, Auntie Lenny said it's racism, y'all. It is. And anytime something don't make sense, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's racism. That's the illogical choice. Tisha said, my heart is breaking hearing you speak, Keon. Vivian said, do y'all realize because Black America speaks out for themselves, seek to see more representation in the workforce, we are looked at as complainers? And Keon, to hear you speak about your PT school experience makes me sad. I relive all your experiences with you. I remember your experiences. I remember you ready to quit. I'm so glad you never gave up. That's true, Keon, because that was the goal. That was the goal, to just keep pushing you and keep hating until you give up. Auntie Lenny said they see your color long before they hear you speak. Trey said, as a father, conversations like this matter to me because I'm thinking about the environments my daughter will grow up entering. I want spaces where she can grow up as her full self without feeling like she has to shrink. I feel that, Trey, but if you're going to give anything to your daughter, I'm saying this as a biased person that experienced this, but I would give what my father gave to me. You can't control other people. So if you're going to give her anything, give her the truth about what she may or may not experience. And then give her the confidence to constantly and consistently know who she is and who she is. So when she experiences it, because there's not an if, it's a when, she can still stand tall and not internalize it and know that she's done her best. Give her the tools to work around these people and through these people, because shielding her is not going to help. That's what you can give her. Jill said, try being Jill. Man. Yeah.
Well,
Jill.
I had her, cause I had her elaborate on that because I didn't know what she was talking about. She said over the phone is come in for the interview, and then when I get there, it was he had to leave the office and we'll give you a call. Waiting, no call. I figured it out after it happening 3 times.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was. Just
Mhm.
I applied for something as Shatracia and then applied for something as my middle name, Leanne, and it was a ridiculous experience. Vivian said, I think so, Scott. It's powerful to see representation of your own kind, and it's nothing against any other race. Yeah, thank you for saying that, because, yeah, I'm going to just leave that there. Auntie Liddy said, but they didn't want you to communicate when it's February and you want to share your Black History Month information. You know what I'm speaking about, Dave Shervill? Yeah. Yeah, because I got told at this one job that I was at, I got told something about, like, we only use email for work. Mind you, this same email that I was on was daily quotes, jokes, and like during Veterans Week, they did daily Veterans Month or something. They did like Veterans Day, obviously, but then they did quotes and stuff all month for veterans. So I just thought, okay, I'm gonna send Black History facts. And after about 2 weeks, they got tired of me and told me, email is only for work. And it was nonsense. So I gave them 38 days and was out because I didn't really want to be there anyway. Um, Maya, not you in the comment. Maya said, "Love this comment. My childhood and raising has a lot to do with my ability to show up as me unapologetically." Yeah, Jill. Oh, Jill explained about how. Okay,
I read that.
okay, we caught up on the
Yeah,
comments, y'all. But
I said that because somebody had asked me, it was a question like, what makes you different from the other your coworkers or whatever. And I kind of mentioned that, like, my ability to talk to anybody. I could talk to somebody that's being erratic. I could talk to somebody that's super calm. I could, I can just meet people where they at, no matter what it is. I remember this one time I had a patient, he came in and he was just so defensive, like one of those male patients that just gotta show like he this big guy and stuff like that. And just, I don't know, but he was just so like, ugh. And I just ignored it, and we just started talking, and eventually like he started like telling his story and stuff like that. He came from prison and all this other stuff, and he had, he grew up with unfortunate background. And so I just told him, I was like, I kind of figured that something happened because you came in very defensive. And we just talked about that. And before I knew it, by the end of it, he was like, that's my homegirl. So it's just like things like that, like where another therapist that don't have that ability would be like, oh, well, he's rude. And now, even when I hear that, I take that with a grain of salt, because is he really rude, or are you talking to them like a kid? These are full adults. Like, I don't want to be talked to like that. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of therapists they do that. Like, okay, well, no, come on, get up. You can do this. Like, meet them where they at. They don't want to be talked to. I'm already down bad. Like, I'm already feeling bad about myself, and you come in here talking to me like a kid.
If you like want to share something, or if you're on TikTok, if you tune into us on TikTok, let us know. Come in and click to join the conversation so that you can verbally share versus typing if you don't want to type in the messages. But I had a question. Go ahead, Keon.
I think I learned like my uniqueness in my career was in the answers that I provided for certain questions.
You break complex things down into something simple for people to understand.
Well, yeah, that's that. But like, I remember an icebreaker to get to know like the class and each other, and they said if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? And everybody in the room chose time manipulation, time control, and I want to be able to go from here to there, whatever that's called. I forgot what it's called, but everybody chose like very much superpowers that would benefit them. I was the only one that said I would want the hands of healing, and to be in a room full of PTs who swear they want to help everybody, and you get asked what superpower, and when I say that, the room goes silent and it's like real cold, and the look is almost like you just try to be different. But I literally answered the question. If I could have a superpower, what would it be? I would want the hands of healing. Like, I'm very true to want to help people heal. But how does teleporting help you want to help people? And and from that day forward, I knew in my profession, in a room full of type A people, I was completely different.
Yeah.
I didn't hear an answer close to it.
You would have got mad at my answer because I teleport me.
Maya.
I want to be on the plane everywhere I go.
Oh man.
But I think that just goes to show like the passion and I have, and I could still be overlooked and with that answer.
Yeah.
I could with an answer that powerful, I could still get overlooked and not be acknowledged as like good. Like that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Jill said, "Ooh, Maya, I need you on some of my calls because I do have to turn my professional phone voice off and want to say meet me in the parking lot, but instead I hang up on them."
Oh man, meet me in the parking lot.
No, you know though, when I get that, when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to like get through, like I'm trying to break through, I literally be like, "Is everything okay?" Because now I'm finna make you feel like an a-hole. Because is everything cool? Because be for real.
Right. You sound a little
Now,
aggressive.
I'm not finna meet you where you at. Like, come on now. You finna be the one that's looking crazy. Before you know it, you're gonna have to match my energy and we finna be calm in here. Be cool. Shalina said hers is to be invisible. I said that too, Shalina. I think I said that instead of teleporting. No. I remember Kia asking me that. I think Dash was time manipulation.
And then they start,
Yep.
juicing them up.
Yeah. I literally used to sit and test and daydream and be like, if I could just stop the time. And then I would realize the time's still going and have to get started on my work. That's how deep time manipulation go for me. It's been a thought of mine for a very long time. Okay, so
I think I just always been strange. I remember crying because they was giving away a microscope and I prayed to God for it so bad. Like ain't nobody gonna want a microscope. But I wanted a microscope so bad, just crying. And I think I always been just a little bit different by the things I wanted. I just kept looking for answers for things I want just in a different way. Like who's gonna cry over a microscope? I remember not getting into PT school and crying in the hospital. And they like, who cry to get in school? I didn't see people cry to get out of school, but I never see nobody cry to get into school.
Oh man, Kia.
What was your question, Dash?
My question. Oh, yeah. Yep. Have you ever felt like you had to control your reactions in the workplace? Like, what was that story?
Okay, have you say that again, please?
Have you ever felt like you had to control your reactions, obviously more so than other people, in the workplace? What's that story?
Control my actions. Mm-hmm. For sure. I think not my actions, but
reactions, like your response.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. My responses. Yeah. I've had to control my responses and like actually take a moment before I do like respond in a negative way, or I can say something and it be taken way out of context because they don't understand. Mm-hmm. Or like I could say something to somebody that look like me and then somebody over here is like, why you just, like not understanding that we here. Yeah. Like we get it. Yeah. But you can't say that in front of everybody because then it look like you being mean or rude, Yeah. And the whole time we over here joking. Yeah. Jada said all day long with these entitled older women.
Entitlement is crazy. It is crazy the amount of entitlement you experience. So, Jada, if you don't mind, can you elaborate on like where that came from? Like what's your experience?
Mom
Don't
said
forget, if
every
you want to get
day.
on TikTok to verbalize it instead of typing it in the chat, join us on TikTok under the DIY Lawyer.
What was the question?
Mom crazy.
Have you ever
Did y'all
felt
see
like you
Mom
have to
come?
control your reactions more so than other people in the workplace? And what's that story?
Oh yeah, as a clinical director, I most definitely have to try to just. I apologize for your experience. I apologize for your experience. I just try to really hone in on that where I don't combat with people. Like even like today though, a lady was mad because she had to fill out paperwork, and I was like, "Ma'am, it's a doctor's office." She said, "I know what it is, but it's repetitive. It's medical records, ma'am. You do this in any building you walk into." And she was really like, she asked me like, "Who you talking to?" And I wanted to say you, but I want to be like, "I'm talking to you." But I had this just like, "I'm sorry, I'm just trying to help you understand why the paperwork is important." But having to sit there and have to think about rewording your words or something like that, like you're mad because you got to fill out paperwork to be thorough. How is that a problem? A me problem?
Yeah.
And then you like, well, I can't see. You walked in here and you drove here. Okay. Now you about to make me mad.
Yeah.
But it's like moments like that, like where you just constantly dealing with the public and their personal psychosocial issues, which when people are in pain, there are many psychosocial
Yeah.
components to that pain. And it just have you like, I understand that this is my job and this is healthcare, ma'am, and I'm supposed to be someone who care, but help me care, help me care. Don't. And I had to tell someone that before. I have to care about you in order for me to do my job well, or I could just do my job and then we can be done. But in order for me to care about you and do it well, you can't come in here telling me I can't see and you drove and pulled the door open and read the place on the wall. Like, come on.
Kia. Oh, look, Shalina on TikTok. Shalina, you coming up? What's up? You got a story for us? Jill said to calm his A word down and have $7.82 in his account. Oh, Shalina coming up. Okay, everybody. This is our oldest sister, Shalina. She's going to give us her experience. Story time.
So I had two experiences. One where I coached two sports at the time, both basketball and track. Me and this camera, we got some issues. But I was sitting in the gym and my head coach at the time had said, watch, the basketball girls were out. There was the track coach who I would be going to after basketball, who he was a white male. And he brought the track into the gym. So I'm watching the kids like I've been told to do because I'm currently in basketball season. And once this is all over, I'm going to him for track. The following day, I get to work and stories have been told that he called me and another co-worker rude. And I was like, rude for what? And they was like, well, he just said that y'all were rude and don't help. And he had all these negative comments. And I heard it from another black coach. Then I turned around and I heard it from the head coach. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, so now you are playing with my character and I'm fire hot. So I'm hunting him down. But by the grace of God, I couldn't find him and I had to go to class. So it allowed me to get my character together, me to react in the way I needed to react. Yeah, because he was about to have it. We was both about to be in the office. And when I found him, I didn't code switch. I didn't got right. And I'm like, so I heard you call me rude and I'm trying to understand why my character was attacked. And I'm talking to him polite. Kids are walking by. I'm using a normal voice. And he goes, well, I came in the gym. Y'all didn't help me. And I'm sitting up here working with these kids and you could have helped. And I said, did you ask? I said, because I was actually doing another job that was given to me by the head coach I'm currently under. I said, have you given us any expectations? And well, I didn't know I had to give you expectations just to help. And all these words of, I should have just got my butt up and helped you just because of who you are. Not, you didn't look at the fact that I'm actually doing my job. And then you went back into a crowd of males and you spread information about us without actually knowing me. And I just told them, you know, I said, that's where the problem lies. I don't have any expectations. You haven't given me anything, and I'm currently not in track. And so he starts getting loud and doing his hands all like this, and kids are walking by, and I'm like, had I known you were going to react this way, I would have asked you in the office. And he's like, had I known you were coming this way? And I said, no, we're not going to do that because I'm not loud. And he goes, well, I'm going to go step in this office right here. Let's go here. The person's office he wanted to go in was the head football coach, who he's really good friends with. And now let's do this buddy thing, which I'm aware of. So again, I still got to be not the angry black woman that's boiling inside, but I got to go in here and play this role. So before he can even get a word out, as soon as we walk in there, I run the whole story down. And I'm running it down in my code switch voice. And I'm letting him know. I didn't realize it was going to go this far. I just want respect. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. And if he has something to say to me, please come to me. I'm coming to you because this came from other people. I didn't know there was a problem. And I would just appreciate the respect of coming to me. Now your friend in here done sided with me. I appreciate you coming down. And yes, I appreciate we need more people like this. And I realized, you know, you playing your role too. And now well, I'm sorry, I apologize, because you thought you had a friend that was finna come at me. You thought I was finna back down.
Which is a shame.
And so
a grown man feels like
it
he needs
is.
to double team and bully a woman. Like, sir, pick your panties up, please.
Yeah, that, and then all season we got, you're doing such a great job. I'm so glad to have you here. You're wonderful. You're awesome. Meanwhile, I'm like, whatever. You was the same person calling me rude without knowing me. So keep that same energy, and I'm gonna keep mine over here doing my awesome, wonderful job.
Right. That's a shame.
But it happens. It is.
The problem with that is not only do you have every right to be upset and you getting loud and crazy, but now I gotta control my reaction. The good news is that that worked out that time. Worked out well for you. Oh, your camera on now. That worked.
Oh Lord, it wasn't on that whole time.
No, that's okay. that worked out well for you.
I like your hair.
Thank you. Stay focused. Go ahead, Aisha.
I had one of those experiences, and I actually remained calm like you did. And I got told, you don't seem to have a sense of urgency about this. You don't seem to care. Yeah. I want to be like, I can show you how much I care outside, or I can flip this desk over. Which one? I mean, I literally left, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that was one for the win, because, and to have to control, especially when you're being yelled at, like, if you want smoke, I got fire. We're going on a yelling match, but shout out to you, kudos to you for, because that's hard, that's real hard, for real. And I honestly also walking in there and understanding the situation, but still holding your ground, because I think I would have been like, nah, I ain't finna be no white man gang up. I think I would have left.
Well, I mean, because the ideal is that, and I tell kids this all the time, the expectation is that I'm about to get angry.
Yeah.
The expectation is that you're going to say things to poke and prod to get me to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So then I become your puppet. So my biggest thing is, let me make you feel the way I'm feeling right now. You can't react the way you want to react, because now I'm asking you, like I went in asking him questions. Now I'm questioning your authority, because what are you really doing?
Right. Yeah.
So now you gotta apologize to me, whether or not you mean it.
Yeah.
I want to hear you apologize.
Yeah.
I want to hear you say sorry, just because I know you hate doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in control of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie Monique said the jeans
Should've-
are so strong.
She also said she loved our videos. Thanks,
Oh, thank
Kenzie.
you. Yeah, you got
Selena, you
Thank
should have
you.
said, until you do right by me.
Hey,
girl.
I didn't have to. The karma that comes behind, he's no
No,
longer
for
there.
real.
I'm still there.
Oh,
Every person that has done something to me at that job is no longer at that school.
not God don't play about little old me.
That's how I'm feeling.
I feel that.
Hey.
That's-
Let
Okay,
me read a
well,
few comments.
if anybody else wanna, stay on. Otherwise, Shalina, you welcome to stay on, girl.
What? Because I was
Mine as
looking
well,
at,
Shelly.
I was looking on. I thought Jada had a story because I was
Yeah,
looking
she
at how to
did.
lead.
Oh, come on, Jada. Oh,
No.
I got you, Shalina.
Yeah, because Jada, I know Jada had a story.
Okay,
She was,
well, chill out real
I wasn't-
quick. Read the comments and then
Okay.
Cornisha said people be having the audacity sometimes.
No, for real.
That part.
I call it the caucasian.
Auntie said, Jill, like me, you worked in offices that you may be the only person of color, and they ask you questions like, why do y'all black people do? I would tell them that it's not my day to speak for all my people, but I can
Okay.
tell you about me because we are individuals. I didn't have the handbook.
And thank you for that
I
response.
understand Jada because there's always older people on your job, no matter where you are. We know everything.
Ah.
She's laughing too hard.
Because she owned up to. I feel that she owned up to, for older women.
Jada gave her example. Jada said, working with older women that don't look like me typically say out of pocket things or stuff that has nothing to do with the kid that look like me. I have to grab my tongue because what do you mean you don't like a kid and you don't want to support them because you can't handle or manage their behavior?
That's sad.
Did we see Scott's
We that's the last one we about to. All right.
What you got,
Scott
Key?
said, in y'all's profession, have y'all seen black women be labeled an angry black woman? If so, what would be your advice to black women who've been labeled this or are in danger of that stigma?
Ooh, that's
I
a good
get
question,
that
Scott.
they done found a in my profession. I'm more considered the They don't say I'm angry. They say they love that I challenge them. They they bring it up in meetings like Keon really challenged me, and I appreciate that. It helps me grow. But they bring it up just at some weird times and saying like I challenged them. And this has been 2 male supervisors that say the same thing, and I don't come off as angry, but I am very I would say I am very passionate about my wants and needs when I know what type of worker I am, especially if it's not monetary needs and it's just something to provide a better quality to care. I'm going to have to advocate for my needs in this moment, and you're going to have to understand them. So I don't necessarily experience angry as much as I do get told the word challenge, which is I think a very unique way of saying like you're very outspoken.
It is. They come up with new. I asked a question because I didn't understand why you had an issue with this when I'm seeing other people do it, and I got told, "Oh, I didn't want to have a debate about it." I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize the question was a debate." What you talking about? Like they come up with clever ways of saying it, but it's the same thing. But I do want to address that, Keon, because I just want to address the part that she said about advocating for herself, because if you noticed in that story, you're going to have something said about you anyway. And I want to stress this because I had an older Black woman had this issue and felt and internalized it and felt some type of way. And I was telling her, they're going to have something to say either way. But when you do what you do and you know what you do, you have to advocate for yourself. And if you get told you're greedy or you're only looking at this, financially, I don't know anybody showing up for work saying, y'all ain't got to pay me. I just love being here so much. No one. And when they do it, they're advocating for themselves. So if you're already going to get the stereotypes, I just want to remind people to advocate for yourself anyway, because you, at least, even if they tell you no, you put them on notice and you make them tell you no, that you know what you're worth and you know what you deserve. And if you look at my blog, one of the first things that I say is document everything. And that includes how many times you have to ask for what you're worth. But anyway, y'all keep answering the questions. I just wanted to address that. Okay, not Maya.
I got called into my face. You said what?
I said not Maya. So we go wait for your answer because I am busy. You got called what to your face?
Angry. They didn't say angry Black woman, but they actually said you're angry, and I was nowhere near angry.
Wow.
Wait,
And I mean, it was over.
You got called angry Black woman?
Not angry.
No, I said
Black
I got
woman.
called angry,
Oh.
and it was nowhere near to like it wasn't. In the process of going back and forth, it was like, you're very angry. And I'm like, so you might as well just call me an angry Black woman,
Right.
but
That's
I
crazy.
wasn't. And what it was over was very like, I had girls that I let out a little late, sent a message. I apologized for them being late. Please excuse them. And one of my players messaged me and said, this teacher's in here going off. So I walked down and I'm like, I just want to apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt your lesson. And in the process of trying to apologize, he walks right past me, out the door, another white male, out the door, tells me to come out the door, leaves the door cracked so the kids can still hear us talking,
Oh no.
and proceeds to tell me that this is unacceptable and how what he's teaching is important. And I mean, he went in about what he was teaching, how he was teaching it. And I'm gonna call the administrators on you. We're not gonna have this conversation. And I was like, I'm not mad or anything. I'm just trying to apologize for it being late. It won't happen again. I'm sorry. This was I'm angry because right now I really want to slap your face.
Mm-hmm.
But when he kept talking, he would get more aggressive. And the kid is texting me like, I'm so sorry, coach. She feeling bad for me because the way he talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, okay, it's a camera up there. So I'm trying to talk calm. And I'm like, sir, I'll call the administrators. That's no problem. We can talk to them. We can have a conversation with them. I said, but he's like, you're very angry coming at me. I said, no, you're angry. I'm talking calmly. You've raised your voice. You've threatened to call the administrators, and I'm trying to understand why, but it doesn't scare me. I don't mind speaking with them. I said, all I did was I apologize. Well, I'm just going to talk this over with them. He walked back in his classroom, closed the door. And I was like, oh, okay. See what?
Your live is flagged for violent behaviors and criminal activities. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Exactly. What violent behaviors and criminal activities, TikTok? Really, what? I mean, it's actual people cussing and talking crazy on TikTok. That some may find uncomfortable. Okay, it contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. I don't know who it's restricted from because we doing different stuff. But yeah, you're right. It is uncomfortable for me to experience this. That's crazy. Anyway, continue, Shalina.
Did somebody report this?
No, it literally does that.
No, it's because Shalina said she'll slap someone across their face.
No, I think Shalina's co-workers is very violent.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to deal with him. He was one who I've talked to the administrator, and they said, I guess he's just having a bad day. I don't know what to call it. And they said he's going to apologize to you, and I was like, he's not apologizing, but okay. And no, he never did
And he didn't. Oh,
apologize.
wow.
No, of course not. Of course not. It was just something to say to them, but you thought they were going to be on your side. And when it wasn't, I apologized to her. I'm not getting an apology. You're not finna hunt me down. You're not finna even email me. But I'm just good knowing that I made you angry, even though you tried to call me angry. And I
Right.
feel like you said, where it makes you go there, I really want to go there, but at the same time, I really want you to feel dumb for trying to make me mad, and you can't make me mad.
Right. Right.
At least not to your face. Because I was boiling on the inside.
I don't think I've ever been. I mean, it was just the debate thing, but I don't think I've ever been called or had.
Oh, I've had some
I don't
experiences.
think I've had it that blatant. Maya, have you had that?
Trilla said
No,
you're
I think
angry.
I think Shalina's coworkers are very violent people. We should all watch out for them.
Girl, I told you, everybody that done tried me, the woman who tried to get me fired, she no longer working there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, anytime, I mean, Black women, unfortunately, we experience it more. But anytime you set boundaries with friends, with coworkers, with employers, with managers, anytime you set any type of boundary or advocate for yourself, it's gonna be looked at as you angry, you negative, you.
Not always. I feel like sometimes.
You ain't even let me finish, but you know what? Go off.
Not always. I do. I feel like sometimes we should just reel our emotions back in a little bit and try to not address it emotionally, to not even give them that space or opportunity to give you that label.
So
Like,
what does that look like? Because some of us not coming in like, and I want two of them. Like, no, we are literally just asking.
Some people are very sarcastic. Like, I know Daisha's very
She was talking about
witty. Like, she have a very witty, sarcastic way to get her point across without seeming angry, but just like have you thinking like, okay, I don't know if she was trying to be smart or if she was really thinking. So I feel like teaching someone to that approach opposed to the emotion and giving them the opportunity to even label you that. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, because you start out like, no matter what, if you're passionate about it, that you still set boundaries, you still go.
No. See, that's what, and my therapist said that we are all terrible listeners because that's not what was said. All I was saying was, anytime you set a boundary, think about when you set boundaries with me. As human, I feel some type of way. Don't set no boundary with me like that. Because I try to call Kia and she be like, I don't want to talk about that. And she just setting the boundary and I'm taking it personal. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, no matter what, it doesn't matter how you approach that conversation. You are going to be looked at some type of, oh, here she's going to be the problem child. Like, no matter what, that's just, we are dealing with humans and that's what they're going to think. Black, white, gray, it don't matter.
Okay, so I want to go back to Scott, the end of Scott's question, to what advice would you give other Black women? Because whether you read my blog or not, I'm not going to make up new advice. I'm going to read snippets of what I said. So number one, I said document everything, because when people, when I say document everything, I don't mean document, like if you have a work computer or work stuff or you're at work, I don't mean document at work. Because if something happens, they shut that down immediately. You need to have that at home. So when I say document everything, I mean in your personal, like, folders and files. Document everything, because when people, and I mean everything by document the good and document the bad. Document the context so that you can be able to give this to somebody. So for example, if somebody says, I've always had issues with this person. Now you got a list of, really? Because last Tuesday you said this, and 2 weeks before that, you said I did a great job and you've never had an issue with me because of blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Document everything. The second one was build parallel rooms. Work can drain you. Some rooms can drain you. And if so, build rooms that restore you. Like if you can't afford to go to the conferences me and Maya was talking about annually, that's okay. But find your people that restore you and validate how you feel so that you can be heard, at least be heard by what happened. Because it really matters. The third one is separate the feedback from the bias. Understand and don't, what I mean by that is don't internalize that. Whenever somebody starts saying stuff crazy, you know what it means, we know what it means. But I start asking questions because when you ask people questions and I pause and I let the room, like we're going to be silent because a lot of people like to fill in the gap for silence and they want you to keep explaining so that they can not have to explain themselves. Ask the question and stop so that you can give them a chance to sound ridiculous because they're going to, because there's usually no support for what they mean. It's just coming from bias and racism. So ask, is this about my performance? Or for example, on the blog, I said if tone is mentioned without examples tied to the business impact or the work impact, what I'm doing at my work. If something is mentioned, then for example, when I said I had an issue with communication, I was like, what does that look like? When I spot you talking nonsense, I start asking all kinds of questions because you finna back this up. So you can hear yourself sound crazy because I already know you sound crazy. And a lot of times that people get uncomfortable with that because now you're forcing them to clarify what they mean. Number 4 was advocate. And this was advocate for structural change. And then 5 was remember the truth. And that is that you are not imagining it. You are not the problem. If you have felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood, that feeling is not weakness, it's awareness because you know how you're being treated and how you're supposed to feel. But try not to internalize it and try to remember who you are and whose you are. And I say this, but I know it's difficult right now, but there are literally thousands of jobs out there. You're at work more than you're anywhere else. Don't take toxicity anywhere. It wears on you more than you realize, internally and externally. So that's the advice I would offer another Black woman that's experiencing that.
And I think also notice when you in the middle of a spiritual warfare.
Man.
Because some of those moments can be moments where you're supposed to, lean on your faith a little bit more to help you grow for the role that's ahead of you. And I feel like I've encountered those moments. I remember Daisha telling me, know who you are and whose you are. And I remember being like, oh, my mama and daddy's like, I was just so out of just so in a different space and realm that I had completely lost sight of faith in a spiritual warfare in a very troubling time where I needed my faith the most. I literally was when she kept saying it, I didn't have the energy to ask her to elaborate other than just like, why she keep telling me on my mama and daddy's like, like is she trying to make me remember I'm a stone or like why she keep saying it? But it wasn't until I leaned into my faith that I found out what that meant and the power in that saying and what it meant for me to walk in that light. So that's a real key moment for Daisha.
Well, and I also want to say to young professionals that's entering the workforce in the corporate world, networking, and you may not like that job that you're at, but that does not mean you be toxic and talk any type of way because you never know who that person may know and who the other person may know. Networking is very huge in the corporate world. So don't burn bridges.
Yeah. Let's read the we missed a lot of comments. Why?
I didn't. Kenny said, "Closed mouths don't get fed, Keon, and people will do what you allow them to do. So I encourage everyone to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Your quality of work and work ethic supports what you are asking for." Shalina, Jada said, "You better than me, Lena. I would have laughed and walked away."
Yeah, that's
Why,
pretty
one
much
must say, "Wow, why to?"
Because y'all was being angry birds and getting reported. I knew eventually one of today's controversial topics were going to become a problem.
Oh
And
my
to be quite
God.
honest, I will
Yeah.
be very transparent. When I was reading this blog today, I just had a day. I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with Daesh, mad black woman stuff. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. What this live opened up and what it created was not what I intended. I started off just like I'm really gonna sit here and let Daisha and Maya be on a mad black woman pedestal about corporate America, and yeah.
See, Keon is the one that's like
Keon part of the problem.
kumbaya. Yes, and she the one that's kumbaya.
And they still
And
over there saying
we
you not like us. So
exactly.
kumbaya
Why you
all
over
day.
there? Exactly. All you gonna get is stepped on with a shoe print in your head.
I got flavor.
So
Whoa.
keep on being like that.
Why y'all laughing so hard?
It do be getting sometimes it do be getting tired because sometimes Dacia's good for it, but I do be getting riled up with Dacia. Then I realize at the end of the conversation, the blonde is leading the dang on blonde. We just get mad in this conversation and it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, like I literally thought that's what today's law was gonna be when I read that blog. I was like, nah, we just got out of February with Daisy doing this stuff. That she didn't bother me. She done brought this righteous. I call it righteous material. They brought this righteous material into March, but this was a very good topic, Daisy. I did not intend on it going this way.
I ended the blog on a good note with actual tangible advice for people. So I thought about you, Keon.
But it was one point though, like the blog was like, it was 93 women who got a promotion and 73 was black. I'm like, that's still a lie. Like,
oh my gosh.
But you did finish strong.
Thank you.
Man.
Did we catch up on all the comments?
Shalina, did you see who is Missouri Dog Mama again?
Miss Darnell.
Miss Darnell, yeah. She said you always grinning, and you really are this whole time. You just been like,
well, I ain't trying to be angry, Maya.
Right.
You want me to jump on you a Daisha bandwagon?
Dang, if you don't, you might as well do
right.
what you want.
No, Shalina already. As soon as Shalina said, I wanted to smack that face, my eyes got big and somebody reported the law. Yeah.
But did I? I didn't slap nobody.
It's not reporting, it's picking up what you're saying. So every time you say it, it picks it up. Well,
it picked up all that anger.
You don't need to say it no more. It's gonna pick it up again and think we violent.
That's the shoe fit.
Oh my God!
I smile all the time, so I ain't wearing it.
I think now everybody on the live know who is the more passive, like, yeah.
You.
Who is the more goose?
It's me. I don't want no smoke the way y'all welcome smoke.
Yeah, we see.
I do not welcome smoke.
No, Daesh welcome smoke.
No, yeah. I don't want no smoke. I would love to live my life in blissful harmony.
I don't want
minding my business. What I do is I embrace.
And now you're trying to talk all serious. You see how you be switching? No, you
No,
see how you be switching?
no,
Talk about,
I'm just
no,
because y'all
no.
saying I won't smoke. I don't want smoke. I embrace it. But if we gonna smoke it up, then let me break out the fire. Hold up. That's the only like that's the only thing. Like you like I don't want no smoke. I'm like, oh, we got smoke? Bad. 1 sec. Let me get this lighter fluid. Cause you playing with me. But I
Oh
don't want
man,
it.
I gotta use that one.
Bad.
Hold
Ugh.
Thank
on.
y'all. Thank y'all. Happy
Dave.
Monday for rocking with us.
No, shut
Ugh.
We appreciate y'all.
Oh my
Yeah, Maya,
God.
it's time to go. We'll be back next week. Dash, let them know what we bringing next week.
All right, so despite Keon's controversy, next week is actually about we changed. It's a little lighter. We're talking about women having it all, and I truly want to know the dichotomy between women who say you can have it all and women who are like that's a myth. You can't have it all. Something got to give, and
What dichotomy mean?
the
I
split,
was getting ready to say for us that don't use
the
that big
the
word.
split, the two differences. Die is
You
like
could have
two.
said the differences. No, you should have said the differences. Now
It's a
you confusing me.
specific. Ugh, man.
Now you gotta stuff it in your toolbox.
Okay, first of all, exactly, Maya. I mean, or you could look at it as I just gave you a vocabulary, so you ain't walking around going the split between the two. Or you could say the dichotomy. It depends on how you want to look at it. Smoke free. Okay, so okay, so anyway,
No, wrap this up.
the topic is about having it all and women that say that and women I truly want to hear from the balance. Like, you think we can have it all? We can't. What's up? Because there was a time where women, I don't know if they had it all, but they definitely did it all. So, or did they? So that's the discussion. We're still talking about we're still in the realm of Women's History Month with a little less anger.
It's for all women this time, not just women of color.
I
How
mean,
much
this
you want to
conversation-
bet they should come back with something that's controversial?
No.
Thank
Always.
you, Keon. Thank you. Y'all
Well, wait till I read.
Yeah,
I'll be the judge when I read it.
there you go. Y'all give me a chance.